You know what they say. Doesn't matter what's
First modification to my RS6 today, it is going lower, and I've decided to go with some KW adjustable springs. For me, always the first modification when I have any car is actually to sort out the stance of the car, because it completely transforms it. So lower, a little bit wider, and I'm going to split this video up over a couple of days to film the different things, because we don't have time to do everything today. So I would have a few different options to lower my RS6. Another one would be just to do springs, but I didn't like that idea because I want to have control over the height. Third option would be to do the full suspension, to do coilovers. And the reason I didn't want to do that is because if I was to fully change the suspension, I would lose the different driving modes on the car. And with the springs, or with the adjustable springs, I still keep the original driving mode, so I can change the stiffness of the suspension. And because it's an RS6, I see it as kind of a supercar, super wagon, an ultimate daily driver for everything. It would be stupid to cut off those different suspension modes, because when I drive it, for instance, in the south of Italy, where there's potholes everywhere, I want to have the suspension in soft setting, and when I drive on a mountain pass, I want to be able to put it in a hard setting. So for me, these adjustable springs, I think, are just the best of both worlds, to keep the original driving dynamics, and the car sits a little bit lower. So here is the new adjustable springs going on the car. This is the rear one that's already come off. And in Switzerland as well, you need documents for everything. Everything has to be legal. So this is what you receive in Switzerland to clarify that the springs are legal for the car. And then what I have to do is actually put this into the car documents, that they can see that everything's legal and done properly. Check out the size of these ceramic brakes. I mean, there's my hand for size. They are kind of scary big. I can't get over how crazy big they are. So the rear has already been changed. The rears are on. The height not adjusted yet, of course. They've just been fitted. While my RS6 is being worked on, just wanted to show you guys this quickly, because this excites me a lot. 911 turbo 3.6. It is unbelievably stunning. I just can't stop looking at it. Little updates on the car so far. On the front, the first one has been fitted, but it's taking a bit longer than planned. Obviously not the easiest to fit on the front. Huge brakes to work behind, and of course you had to take much care because of the carbon ceramic brakes. It's all good, but it looks like the car won't be ready today. So we're going to come back in the morning. Final spring is being fitted now, and then we're going to do in the morning the alignment and setting up the whole suspension. So I'm going to head home for today in a different car, and then come back in the morning. I'm now going to head home in the new Golf R. Yeah, quite interested to try this actually. It's going to be my way to get home. Not too bad. Sportec are actually doing a project on this, so I am going to film it once the car is complete. And the KW adjustable springs have now been fitted to the R6. It's looking mighty cool. What Sportech are going to do now is the alignment of the car, which is super important to do when you change the springs or suspension to get the best performance and handling out of it. At the moment, we are adjusting the geometry of the car. As you can see here, everything's changing because underneath the car, he is adjusting the wishbone, which increases a small amount of camber on the rear wheels. So when he's making these small adjustments right here, you can see just on this small screw, looking ahead down here to see the screen, so you can equal everything out. And this is what I mean when I say setting up the suspension perfectly. This here is a traditional Swiss breakfast called Gipfeli. To other people, it's a croissant. To Swiss people, it's a Gipfeli. And it's very nice and very unhealthy. It's a small update on my R6. It's actually around 3 weeks later now since I filmed the previous part. Just been super busy, and the R6 was just taking a bit longer than planned. And since then, actually, summer has started, so that's how long it's been since I filmed the last part. But very spontaneously, the car has now been away the last week being wrapped. Now, I'm not massively into wrapping cars, however, full wrap from Lucerne, and I've put a link to their website below, got in touch with me and offered to wrap my car. And I thought, you know what, why not? Because there was one particular wrap on the Rs6 that I always loved. It just suits what I think anyway, the Rs6 perfectly. So yeah, it's not a new design, it's the design that I'm kind of taken from someone else or inspiration from another Rs6, and I just think it looks so cool. I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna go for it because it, I think, only makes the Rs6 look even cooler than it already does, and it just suits it perfectly. As you can see, I'm in a different Audi at the moment, but in the morning I'm actually gonna go and collect the R6 from full wrap. The only shame is last week I actually had the R6 fully detailed, ceramic coating, so I had all the paint made to look perfect, and then in the end wrapping it. Alex has actually detailed all my cars the last couple of years, so if you're in the area and you're looking for someone to machine polish or ceramic coat your car, I've put a link to his website below. So while I'm waiting to pick up my R6 in the morning to show you guys the wrap and show you like the other small details that I've done with Sportech, you guys can head over to Texas to hang out with Joe for a bit. Joe is a YouTuber from Texas, and he also owns a very, very nice new R6. He bought it brand new, I think a couple of months ago. He has done the downpipes on his car. So for me, it was super interesting to see what the R6 could sound like. And Joe now is going to show you what the R6 could sound like. And I have to say, I've already listened to it. It sounds awesome. So enjoy hanging out with Joe in Texas, and I shall see you guys in the morning.
What's up, all you Cars with Luke? I don't think he has a name for you guys. Whatever Luke calls his fan base. So he reached out to me the other day and asked if I would be willing to show you guys what an American spec Rs6 with the little goodies put on it should sound like and feel like. My Rs6 Avant is Nardo Gray with this tan color interior. His is black on black, but I believe we both have the dynamic package of sport exhaust, same wheels, same everything. So here in the US, we don't have this OPF filter, so the sports exhaust is already quite a bit louder. However, I went a step further and went with catless downpipes, which technically aren't legal, but I'm in Texas, it's the Wild West. I picked up about 150 horsepower with the tune, 150 pound-foot of torque, way better throttle response. All of that put together gives you what I believe the Rs6 should have been from the factory. And enough of me sitting here blabbering on. Let me show you guys. Imagine by this point, Luke's car is ready to go, so I'm sure he's dying to show it to you guys. So I'm gonna get out of here. I appreciate it. Luke, congratulations on your Rs6. And if you guys wouldn't mind, comment down below and let Luke know to come to the US. I've been trying to get him to fly here and we can do some kind of like US tour, take the 3RS and this and go make some movies. but he just refuses to leave the Alps. I mean, I don't really blame him, but anyway, back to the shop.
So it's now 7:30 in the morning, picked up the R6, heading for a coffee, and I think the car is looking seriously cool right now. So first of all, the big obvious thing, the wrap. As I said, this was super spontaneous, and I always love this wrap. A lot of you will probably recognize the wrap from Jon Olsen's RS6 Phoenix. He did it on his older RS6, not the C8, the one before that. I think probably around 2 years ago now, and ever since he made this wrap on that car, I was obsessed with the two-face look, the black and the whites, the contrast. Black and white are actually my favorite colors, and I couldn't decide what color to have this car. So in the end, the wrap kind of was the perfect wrap. So I have the best of both worlds. It makes it super unique. I love the red stripe down the middle. That really makes it. The big difference being between mine and his is he actually did a kind of camo wrap over the top of the white and the black as well. So on the black side, his was a mix between the metallic black paint and camo matte parts. But what we've done is we've put the whole black side in totally matte black and the whole white side in metallic white. So yeah, super clean. And many years ago, I was already obsessed with the Two-Face look because there was a bad guy in Batman and he had this Two-Face suit on, and I just always thought it looked so cool. I don't know how long it's going to stay on for. The wrap is purely just a bit of fun. Maybe after a month, I'm like, yeah, I would just want to go back to the full stealth black look. It could well happen. It's just a bit of fun. I had an offer. I thought it's a yes. Take the opportunity, enjoy something a bit crazy for a bit, and yeah, I can always take it off within a day, no problem. But thanks to Full Wrap so much, they did such a perfect job on this wrap. They got the lines just absolutely 100% perfect. So lastly, what else has been done? Well, while I was at Sportec, we fitted spacers. I think we've got 12mm on the front and 10mm spacers on the rear, so the car is a bit wider. Of course, from the beginning, you know, we have the KW adjustable springs. And lastly, we fitted a Sportec exhaust flap control. Something annoying about the RS6 was the flaps on the exhaust always close. So now I can have a manual control about keeping them open and closed. It doesn't make it much louder at all. Just maybe an absolutely tiny bit. So for me, next on the list regarding changes to the R6, I would say all this needs really, well, to really set off perfectly is a set of wheels. And that actually just reminds me of something that I completely forgot that I've done to this car. I've had the wheels painted in satin black. My friends over at Ricag painted the wheels for me. Again, put a link to them as well if you need your wheels painted. They did a super nice job. And lastly, probably an exhaust. And then I think be kind of perfect RS6. Anyway, time to end today's video, which has probably been dragging on quite a bit. Sorry for all the talking in this video. I'm now going for a coffee because that's what you do on a Sunday morning. And yeah, for me, it is ciao for now.